be without Tanner Morgan, winningest quarterback in school history, who was carted off a week ago, and he's been in concussion protocol all week. Dragan Kesic to start the night as he kicks away.
So he's going to be very efficient and very accurate in some tight windows tonight.
We have some excellent true freshman skill position players on this team. Nick Singleton is the running back to start the game. He's one of them. Diving effort to the outside by Parker Washington. Singleton will get that chance right here, but he is met at the line of scrimmage, and then he is driven back by Mariano Sori-Marin. 3rd down and 5. Clifford steps up, and he gets the shallow cross, and it's going to be close to that line to gain for Mitchell Tinsley. Barney Amore comes on to punt. Flags come in, as we will have some movement on the Penn State side.
False start. Kick your team number 80. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Amore's first punt of the game as he drives this downfield. And Redding with the fair catch.
Spot like this is more about, can you handle the mentals and the pressures and the platform that you're going to have and the adversity that you're inevitably going to face.
And penalty flag before they even get a playoff.
False start. Offense number 87. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Ibrahim will take it ahead, the record-setting running back. 6-year out of Baltimore. 5 yards for Mo. 2nd and 10. He'll carry it again, and this time he is tackled for a loss. And again, the flag comes in pre-snap.
False start. Offense number 65. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
3rd and 17. And they're going to keep it on the ground with Ibrahim again.
Cannot live behind the chains the way we did on that last drive.
Crawford on to punt. 28-year-old Australian sends a sidewinder, and it's muffed, but recovered by Parker Washington. It's very hard to gauge in midair. Short pitch, Singleton.
To stop his momentum at or behind the line of scrimmage, because if he can get to the second level with a full head of steam, he can be out the gate in a hurry.
2nd down and 12 as Clifford gets it to Tinsley. Their first possession was 3 plays, 9 yards, and a punt. Here's Clifford with time. Goes underneath and tackled right away. Barney Amore on to punt. Quentin Redding, 5'7", redshirt freshman with the fair catch. For Tanner Morgan, who was carted off a week ago and has been in concussion protocol. Ibrahim, good run from the record-setting running back. They're saying 109,000 packing it in tonight. 1st down run. Ibrahim, let's say hello to Katie George.
Well, guys, PJ Fleck told me if there's one person all of this would not affect, it was Ethan Kaliak-Manis.
He's yet to throw a pass. Now facing a 2nd and 7, but you got to love the confidence. Kaliak-Manis. And there it is, and it's a good one. Complete.
Beast there on the edge that they're going to rely an awful lot on tonight.
Keep it on the ground, but only a gain of 2.
It's going to be very important for these defensive tackles to play great tonight.
Kaliak-Manis chased back, trying to extend the play, and then he will throw it away. Ibrahim on 3rd and 8. The 28-year-old punter, the Aussie Mark Crawford, looking for a pin here. Nose down, rotation. Parker Washington will set those heels on the 10. It takes a good Minnesota bounce inside the 10-yard line. From inside their own 10, this is Allen wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage before he goes forward for about 1.5 yards.
The offensive line not winning the point of attack right now.
2nd and 8. Clifford going to take a shot downfield. Overthrown, and and intercepted by Justin Wally. And Wally now on the return. Inside the 30, blockers in front, and tiptoes his way down inside the 15-yard line, eventually forced out by the center, Juice Scruggs. Big play by Wally.
And has Minnesota knocking on the door after the huge turnover and nice return.
They start at the 14-yard line. Ibrahim just muscles it ahead and is met again by the freshman Abdul Carter. Ibrahim again, and now they are keying in on the record-setting running back.
No restrictions tonight as he's the centerpiece of this offense.
Kaliakmanis looks over. They're 0 for 2 on third down tonight. They're pointing at motion, and there is the whistle and the flag. And pre-snap has been an issue early on here for Minnesota. Well, you consider the circumstances.
False start. Offense number 69. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Playing here in front of 109,000, making your first college starting assignment. Kaliakmanis checks protection at the line. They're down in 12 as he gives to Ibrahim, and he is gobbled up. High snap, gets it down, and puts it through. Reception return by Wally was returned 38 yards to put them in position. Beautiful Troppo Ferrari logo there.
There is nothing less surprising than you being a Ferrari guy. Both defenses have been excellent so far and very sound and haven't missed hardly any tackles in the early going.
Penn State with only 20 total yards right now. Incompletion. That was almost picked by T-Time Smith. They're 0 for 2 on third down. Penn State still looking for their first down of the night. Clifford wide open and complete to Theo Johnson.
And a nice throw there by Clifford.
Clifford now gets it quickly to the outside to Washington, but great pursuit. First time in Minnesota territory tonight. 2nd and 10, play action. Clifford. He's got time to set it up, wind it up, and get it complete to Johnson again. His 6'6", 260-pound tight end.
He actually plays it beautifully. Usually that guy's wide open, but Clifford has to throw a back shoulder and does so nicely.
Allen straight ahead, couldn't slither free on the inside as Trill Carter, the 300-pound nose tackle, was able to make the tackle. Who I know James Franklin has had his eye on recently. Nick Singleton on the pitch, testing that right side, and a good tackle that time by Beanie Bishop. That Chad Powers is something. He came out a few weeks ago. And
buzz here out of Happy Valley.
Third down and 5. Singleton, not much there at all. 5 of 7 on the year. On to attempt the 41-yarder. Very impressive win by Brian Kelly and the Tigers. As Pinniger kicks away, moments ago had the 41-yard field goal.
It's great to see Tanner Morgan in good spirits.
Ibrahim, as he squares up those shoulder pads and he's able to get ahead towards the 32-yard line. Trey Potts joins Ethan Kaliakmanis in the backfield. He's a Pennsylvania native. The Minnesota running back comes from Williamsport, of course, home to the Little League World Series. And he is tackled for a loss. He is eaten up in the backfield by Charlie Katcher. That's 3 TFLs for Penn State now. 3rd and 8. And Kaliakmanis is taken down. Our Crawford on to punt again. 3rd time that we have seen him. Parker Washington set to return. He's driven back towards the 26-yard line. And he returns it high over his head, but fortunately for Penn State, was able to secure it. Looked like offside there. And Clifford is going to go to Strange, his tight end, Brenton Strange, with the reception. James Franklin looking for an explanation
Yeah,
here.
do you want 2nd and 3 or 1st and 5? I think they're trying to get clarification.
Offside. Defense number 17. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
All-time thriller. First down and 5 after the penalty. Clifford able to escape the pocket and then go across the grain, incomplete. He was looking for Tinsley.
He's fantastic, but he is a little bit up and down and erratic on occasion with his accuracy.
Singleton on 2nd and 5 as he drags.
Fantastic dropping guys in the open field. Howden, difficult task right there, but he drops him to set up 3rd down.
Typical short yardage formation, the power T on 3rd and 1. They go with Allen, and it is well blocked.
It's the one that really imposed his will there, the tight end, who might be the best player on their offense.
They put him in that fullback position. Then you got 2 H-backs. And Clifford stands up to it. Survives for the moment and then throws it away.
Play 2nd and 10.
Set up the screen. Singleton. Blockers in front. He revs the engine. Makes a man miss and dives ahead inside the 40. 22 yards for Penn State. Now Singleton on the ground, and it's Logan Redding with the tackle.
Nothing downfield.
2nd and 8. Wide open inside the 10 and into the end zone. Tyler Warren, touchdown, Nittany Lions. Remember, this is a pivot game, a critical swing game in the midst of this stretch for Penn State. Sean Clifford, a week ago, he left that Michigan game with a right shoulder injury. Minnesota at Penn State. Joe, Greg, and Katie and the crew with you. Look at you doing replays off the plane shot nowadays. Ibrahim as he darts ahead out to the 31-yard line. Gain of 6.
It's an important drive now for Minnesota's offense. Haven't been able to generate a whole lot. Of course, your only points came off of a 3 and out after the sudden change. Now we got to establish a little bit of an offensive rhythm, and it's going to start by challenging the offensive line and getting Mo Ibrahim back going in the game.
They only have 44 total yards. 2nd and 4. As Kaliakmanis, he can do this. Good looking athlete as he runs ahead to move the chains.
And this has been a couple plays in the making. You're going to see the defenders all washed down as they put the ball into the belly of Ibrahim. What does that mean? There's plenty of room for Kaliakmanis, who's a good athlete in his own right, to get to the edge. He's not going to be the threat of a runner that Ibrahim is, but either way, he can keep you honest. And now that as defenders, they have to think twice every time they crash inside when the ball goes into the belly of the back.
Only attempted 2 passes so far. Here's number 3, and it's incomplete as he was trying to get it to Daniel Jackson. 2nd and 10. Kaliakmanis being backed up, pressured, and had to burn it. He's got that prowler package out there time and again. Showing a little bit of A-gap pressure. Flag comes in. Pre-snap again.
False start. Offense number 69. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Listen, there's the head coach, and the guy over there without pads on the jersey is your starting quarterback who's the winningest of all time. So now you have a young quarterback who's never started. You got communication issues in front of 109,000, and you have 4 full starts already.
Yeah, and it's that right there kind of happened after Penn State shifted into an all-out pressure. So these offensive linemen leaning a little bit back, too, seeing that this pressure, at least that's what was called a second ago by Manny Diaz. Let's see now if he opts to drop back and bring cover.
3rd and 15. And again, movement.
False start. Offense number 65.
And louder. 3rd and 20. They drop 8, bring 3. And they still nearly get to him as he's just going to tuck it, run it, and try to survive.
That have played 4+ years of college football.
Crawford punts away, takes a good bounce, and rolls inside the 20. But what a performance early on by Manny Diaz. Allen can't find much at all.
So far, they've been okay with that at times tonight.
Jahan Dotson's not walking that campus any longer, is he? 2nd and 8. Allen bounces it and then puts down the shoulder for the first down.
Pulling the truck stick out.
Love seeing it. You love hearing it, too. And look at this. And now they're just feeding him. And he's finding it. And it's another first down for the Nittany Lions. Katron Allen, good-looking true freshman from Bradenton, Florida. Played his ball at IMG. Some tempo now being shown. But the whistles blow. And a timeout is going to be used.
Big Ten Football in 60 is presented by Rocket Mortgage. When you want an edge in the competitive market, Rocket can.
The tight ends have absolutely stepped up in the second quarter, which is why this Penn State offense has come alive a little bit.
And around here, this is Evans. Evans with blockers in front. His commitment, his competitive fire at all, and the veteran leadership. Third and 3, take a shot with the flag. And what an effort with the left hand of Tinsley. I mean, Clifford just dropped it in there. Tinsley was well covered, and he comes up with the catch. And Tinsley had T-Time Smith all over.
It's a completed catch. Offside, defense number 97. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, it's a first down.
We were just talking about that. The football IQ, the leadership, the competitive fire. Go for it. Dropped it in. Got it. Shallow cross underneath Washington as he bounces it and then gets bounced out. Now 8-play drive marches on. 2nd and 4. Clifford got it again. The tight end, Theo Johnson. He's been going to the tight ends, and it's been working out just fine. This time it's Johnson. So Clifford has hit to Warren, and now he hits to Johnson. Number 16, Penn State, looking to bounce back after what happened at Michigan a week ago.
He is a bit of a liability, especially against long athletic tight ends.
Kaliak-Manis, only 1 completion so far. Ibrahim.
Kirk Shiraka, they have to trust the young player.
Look at the amount of players on Penn State within 6 yards of the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10. And that is batted away defensively by Jalen Reed.
Knocks it away. This defense from Penn State, they have answered the challenge after last week's disappointing performance.
Washington with the fair catch. 5 touchdown passes today, the former Auburn quarterback. Ball is batted down, and Sean Clifford had 2 defensive linemen in his face.
Oh my God.
Among them was Danny Strigo.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I mean, Strigo almost had this. Read it beautifully on the boot naked, and he gets a piece of it and almost intercepts. I mean, you want to talk about turn this game on its head.
Well, he's done that. He had a one-handed interception against Michigan State at point-blank line of scrimmage. Stabbed the ball with his left hand and picked it off. He's a good athlete.
Yeah, he is. Great awareness, too.
Play action on 2nd and 10. Clifford going to take a deep shot. Receiver out of bounds for about 10 yards. Striding downfield that time was Harrison Wallace. Coverage came from T-Time Smith.
And the coverage is beautiful. T-Time Smith gave it the long one a second ago. This time he eliminates the amount of field that Wallace has to play with. Let me see the hat. The official, the side judge, tossed his hat because it was very clear. I mean, there was no room for Clifford to drop that in, and that was a result of just outstanding coverage from Smith. Big 3rd down here for Minnesota's defense. I'd cover the tight end over the middle of the field if I were him, because this play right here has killed Minnesota up to this point.
That's Tyler Warren, the number 3 receiver, bottom of the screen. He had the touchdown earlier. 3rd down and 10. Allen wrapped up immediately after making the catch. So they do their job on third down. It was Beanie Bishop, the transfer from Western Kentucky defensively.
All right, I told you the middle of the field was absolutely killing Minnesota. So what they do? They said, no, not this time. They run Nubin right to the number 3. Said, I am not going to get beat by the same play again. Nubin covers it up. That was a good adjustment there defensively by Joe Rossi, the defensive coordinator for the Gophers. And finally, they had an answer for the tight end post middle read.
Third punt for Barney Amore. Just a couple minutes away until that halftime report with Kevin and Booger. Get you up to speed on everything going on. Another entertaining day in the sport. Flag comes down as it takes a Penn State bounce.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 7. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick, first down.
Kaliak-Manis downfield throw, and that is batted away. Ibrahim, third down and 8. Kaliak-Manis just lofts it downfield. Lemeki Brockington with the 33-yard catch. And now here goes Ibrahim, and Minnesota could do something before halftime. Penn State used that timeout as Minnesota was struggling. They had the third down, thinking maybe we could preserve some time, get the ball back. And here come the Gophers.
And does it light a fire under their quarterback?
And he's going to keep it. Kaliak-Manis. They could really use something before the half. How will they manage it? Pressure off the edge. Kaliak-Manis is going to tuck and run again, and right now those legs are doing damage. And a timeout will be used by Penn State.
He's responding nicely here.
Ibrahim, as he tries to power his way close to the 10-yard line. Outing against Ohio State a year ago. And now here on 2nd and 6, it's going to be first and goal. First and goal. Right back to him and right into the end zone. And what a swing. And he now has 68 yards after that drive, so he's 32 away from what would be his 15th straight 100-yard rushing game. It just goes on and on and on.
Dominating the Buckeyes early in last year's opener.
Below average, says the national championship winning quarterback to my right. Sean Clifford and the tight ends really find things against this defense as he goes underneath to Wallace. 8 seconds, no timeouts.
Definitely guard the boundary if you're Minnesota. Anything in bounds basically ends the half.
Clifford, flag is down as he runs it out with 2 seconds remaining.
During the run, holding, offense, number 70.
You got to feel pretty good about what you saw from your quarterback. He's missed a couple, but the tight ends have stepped up in the running game.
Jake Pinniger will kick away. Quentin Redding hopes he gets a chance. Had a 92-yard kickoff return against the Illini a week ago. And he is going to take it out from his own end zone. And he is met at the 16-yard line. Moments ago, here's Katie with Coach Flex.
You know, they did the 2 formations we hadn't seen. They had a really good job attacking the middle of the field. We just got to make a different call on that. We got it adjusted.
Thanks for the time.
We got a real most camera goal.
Kaliak-Manis going to open up the second half with a pass that's incomplete. He was looking for Mike Brownstein. Eric Shiraka, who was the offensive coordinator for Penn State in 2020. Go underneath to Span Ford, and look at the athleticism of Span Ford.
When the tight end blocks and then releases, the linebackers often lose them. They did there, and Span Ford found a big, big hole.
2nd and 13, is going to launch it downfield. That was blocked. Penn State got a piece of it. Dominic DeLuca, a linebacker playing special teams, gets a piece of it. Singleton, here he goes. Nick Singleton.
I can confirm it was Chad Powers. Still thinking about the decision about attending Penn State.
Clifford able to get it to Strange. 2nd and 5. Clifford with time. And coming back for it was Washington. Play stood after the review. The completed catch for a first down. Clifford, man in his face, launches to the end zone. Trying to high point it and getting it is Parker Washington. My, oh my! 35-yard touchdown catch by Parker Washington. He went up high there.
You did a great job at the end of the half. Now carry it over and respond after a tough opening drive. And at least keep some semblance of balance so Manny Diaz can't tee off.
2nd and 9. Here's Williams out of the backfield.
And it's an excellent conversion for the young quarterback.
19 yards. And once again, a lot of movement up front, but this time it's Minnesota pointing to the other side.
Offside. Defense number 19 causing the offensive move. 5-yard penalty. First down.
In Happy Valley. 1st and 5. Ibrahim.
You can come back and get it on 3rd and short.
And instead they go with old reliable Mo Ibrahim.
Minnesota took advantage with the run.
It's only their 2nd 3rd down conversion. Kaliakmanis with time. Ball is intercepted. That is Brown with the interception. Jair Brown now on the return. Hurdling a man and getting it all the way back to the 45-yard line. Jair Brown. First Minnesota turnover tonight. Allen met at the line of scrimmage.
The learning experience there for Kaliakmanis.
And look at this hole for Katron Allen.
It's pretty much all made up because there was so much room and Sorry Marin really wasn't in the right spot.
And now Allen.
Turning over Minnesota after what looked like a promising drive, and now they're on the move again.
Come to the other side with Washington.
Off balance, that's for sure, with all the different looks they're giving him.
First down for the Nittany Lions. Yurcich had so much success at Oklahoma State, Texas, quarterback coach at Ohio State. Allen, nothing there.
Wide receivers now are starting to step up on the outside. It's going to be really difficult to sell out against the run.
Pressure on 2nd and 10, trying to set up the screen to Singleton, but it's so much in his face that Sean Clifford didn't have an option. 3rd down and 10.
Watch for the shallow working across right here from Wallace. See if he moves across the formation right here. And see if they can't get him running away.
Here's 3rd down and 10. Clifford. Nowhere near it. Flag comes in.
Pass interference. Defense number 4. The ball we place in the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Not on the same page with his wide receiver. Would have been an incompletion. Instead, they get a free first down off the pass interference.
And Singleton has a lane. There he goes. Nick Singleton, touchdown run.
Big Ten Football in 60 is presented by Rocket Mortgage. When you want an edge in the competitive market, Rocket can.
For the most part, a cakewalk up to this point. Only one win against a team with a winning record, and that team's Toledo. So a lot that still needs to be learned about the Buckeyes, but we're going to find out quickly.
Kaliakmanis. Can he throw his way back into this game? Well overthrown, looking for Mike Brown-Stevens. Only has 4 completions on the night. Joey Porter is coming in strong there.
And he delivered it. Mo Ibrahim, for as good as he is, that's a whiff right there, man.
It is.
I mean, goodness gracious. I know the corner cat kind of could catch you by surprise from every once in a while, but Mo's played way too much football to allow that hit to occur on his quarterback. He's got to do a better job at protection because Kaliakmanis has no chance right there with Porter coming off the edge.
2nd and 10. Pressured again, but escapes it and will run. And he ducks out at the 31-yard line. 4-star recruit from the Chicago area. Has a brother Dino, who's a backup receiver on the team. Good athlete. First college start.
And I venture to say it is a gotta-have-it situation for Kirk Ciarrocca. As you see his dad looking on. Gotta have it here for Minnesota. All the momentum and everything in the second half has gone the Lions' way. Can they break that streak and convert on a pivotal third down?
3rd and 4. Ibrahim can't go anywhere. He is wrapped up in the backfield by Curtis Jacobs.
Not been the best night for the Minnesota offensive line. I mean, compared to what they did last week against the run to where they're at right now, it's night and day difference.
He goes to Allen out of the backfield. Clifford does have 3 touchdown passes. Of course, the 1 interception from Wally early on that was returned to set up the opening field goal. But just, you get the sense the reset button was hit. Allen on 2nd and 6. That'll make for a 3rd and 2. Katron Allen, the other star freshman. Nick Singleton, he's so explosive, all the big runs. And then Allen, steady workhorse, strong in the red zone. He's been delivering tonight. 3rd and 2, and he delivers here. Out past midfield, and another first down for Penn State, tackled by Tyler Nubin.
All right, this is just awful by Minnesota's defense. Look at this. This is right down the middle of the defense. And look, there's 2 guys and 3 blockers. I mean, that's an absolute laugher. You have great numbers, and it results in a big play.
Now another lane on the right side as he goes ahead to the 41-yard line. That's a 5-yard run.
And it's been really kind of an uncharacteristic performance in some ways by Minnesota's defense tonight. They've been out of position. They haven't necessarily gotten lined up. Penn State's done a good job of mixing some of their tempo a little bit too, but not used to seeing Minnesota out of position. Sure, they might get beat, but they're not often going to be out of position, and they've been out of position a handful of times tonight, which has resulted in some nice plays for Penn State.
Allen, and a good push. It'll be a 3rd and 1, and the grind continues.
Can't imagine Penn State does anything but continue to run the ball right into the heart of that defense.
And they've got the weaponry to do that. 3rd and 1.
It's tough to simulate a blitzing college level linebacker in high school. You just can't.
That doesn't exist.
But you can run away from people, that's for sure. So it'll come, but they have been as advertised. And even, I think even in some ways, I don't want to overstate it, but I think in some ways they were maybe even slightly underrated coming in. That's how good they've been.
Well, they provide a 1-2 punch given their different styles, guys. James Franklin says Nick Singleton's your 0 to 60 guy. He runs angry and hard. He's unique in terms of weight room strength, his speed, his size, power. While Katron Allen is a little more subtle, patient, setting up the runs. Franklin has been thoroughly impressed with both guys throughout this entire season.
A lot to be impressed with. Singleton, you mentioned, 0 to 60. And here's the tight end, Theo Johnson, who had the touchdown catch earlier tonight. There is Katron Allen getting a break as Singleton is in there. Allen has 77 yards. 3rd and 3. And that'll be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. And good job by that front, including Thomas Rush.
An interesting decision here for James Franklin. Do you kick the field goal, or do you go for it? I think you could justify both, but with how your offense is played, it's kind of hard for me to justify sending the field goal unit out there. I mean, all the momentum's on your side. You have a veteran quarterback. The offensive line's been getting good movement, and your receivers have stepped up in a big way tonight.
So that's what he will do here in the final minute of this 3rd quarter on 4th and 3. Clifford on 4th down. And he will get it complete for a first down to Parker Washington.
This is a good job here by Clifford. As soon as he motioned Parker Washington across the formation and the defender ran with him, you knew it was man coverage. Best thing to beat man coverage is slant, and they did it rare.
Absolutely wide open, and in goes Mitchell Tinsley.
That's chasing a championship potentially, and it's really neat that it's been able to open up those opportunities for a lot of kids that were under-recruited.
Redding on the return. Ibrahim cut down by Jair Brown, who had the interception earlier. Final seconds of this third quarter ticking off. A third quarter that was all Penn State. Remember, Minnesota gathered momentum just before halftime. They cut it to 7. And they scored 3 touchdowns. And we start the fourth quarter with Minnesota trailing by 28. Kaliak-Manis off target again. Interesting subplot here. Their outstanding record-setting running back, Mo Ibrahim, has 14 straight games with 100 yards rushing, Greg, and right now he sits at 78.
Yeah, and it doesn't appear, I mean, barring something unforeseen, I can't imagine a lion's share of touches for him moving forward. This one obviously a little out of hand, and you're not going to run your way back into the game, so got to imagine that streak unfortunately might come to an end, but it speaks to the performance from Manny Diaz in this Penn State defense.
Kaliak-Manis is underneath to his reliable tight end, Brevin Spann-Ford. Gets 7 yards there on what was 3rd and 9. So a 4th down and 2.
Mo obvious.
Ibrahim comes back in the game with that scenario.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Obvious, got to go for it situation if you're PJ Fleck in Minnesota.
Fourth and 2.
It's like
from their own 40. And Ibrahim will have the first down as he goes ahead for a gain of 4.
Minnesota starts to go back to the drawing board. I think their frustration has to reside a little bit with the front, knowing the passing attack might be a bit short-handed. They just haven't been able to play keep away whatsoever and haven't been able to be consistent running the football at any point tonight.
And just 1.5 yards there. So a year ago, he's lost for the season from the Achilles injury. Meets with a sports psychologist to work through the mental aspect of the recovery. Puts his head down, stays focused post-injury, dedicates himself to coming back. And he came in this week 4th in the nation in rushing yards per game at 138 yards per game. Tonight, currently held to 83 is Mo Ibrahim. Trey Potts comes in. The roar never settles down here in this whiteout, does it? Potts trying to hit the edge. Instead, he hits Abdul Carter. And Abdul Carter has been very active, the true freshman.
Great job getting over the top as they tried to reach him, but big number 77, Carroll could not get up to the top. As you could see, Abdul Carter so athletic, so instinctive, and makes a nice play at the line of scrimmage.
They have struggled on 3rd down. Just 1 of 10 tonight. Third and 9. Kaliak-Manis on the in-cut gets it to Mike Brown-Stevens, but he'll be about 3 yards short of that line to gain.
No doubt again, with that 3rd down call, Yes, you'd love for that third down call to result in a first down, but ultimately hitting Brown-Stevens underneath just makes this fourth down a little bit more manageable for the Gopher offense. As it looks like Cole Kramer, number 12, the Wildcat, athletic quarterback, checks into the ball game.
He's done this throughout his career. Kramer running the Wildcat on 4th and 3 as they shift, and a direct snap instead goes to Ibrahim, who will move the chains. So Cole Kramer, who is a redshirt junior, was banged up a bit last week, but he is the runner. He's played a lot of Wildcat quarterback over the past few years.
It's another look for that Penn State defense to try to defend, and we put a bow on Ibrahim's 100-yard rushing performances, but now after a couple of nice carries, he's 10 yards away.
Trying to keep the streak going. 14 straight games with 100 yards rushing. And he is ripped down at the line of scrimmage immediately that time. Never had a chance because denied Dennis Sutton, the true freshman defensive end, was on top of him.
Yeah, really nicely done. I mean, working against number 77, Quinn Carroll. He just removes Carroll and makes the play at the line of scrimmage. It is a deep group. They're very excited about some of the young players that are in this front seven defensively, and you see Dennis Sutton making an impact there on 1st and 10.
Kaliakmanis, as they will get it to the big tight end who goes high hurtling. Brevin Spanford showing that athleticism that everybody raves about. Was a great basketball player, 6'7", 270, and showed it there.
Yeah, just awesome right here. I mean, how about the hurdle? 270 going up and over the top of Jair Brown. I don't blame Brown for going low, by the way. You don't want to catch that one in the chops, so I don't blame him at all for going low, but a good job of anticipating by Spanford.
Ibrahim. 100-yard game and a little more. They're going to mark him just short. He ran over Jair Brown, but that's 13 yards. And all of a sudden, Mohamed Ibrahim has a 100-yard rushing game. That's 15 straight.
And the end of the play just shows you all you need to know about Ibrahim. I mean, look at him finish. And it's a 4-touchdown game, and this guy will play on Sundays, and yet he refuses to quit.
Unable to cap it with the touchdown, though, on that carry as Kobe King made the tackle.
His story coming back from the injury has been nothing short of remarkable in the seasons he's had up to this point.
Remember, a touchdown would give him the most in school history. And he's unable to get that on 2nd and goal. Trying to set the Minnesota career touchdown record. They get the touchdown with Spanford. Kaliakmanis, touchdown pass to Brevin Spanford. Oh, excuse me, they got Kesich out there. And that is recovered easily by Washington. In at quarterback for these final 8 minutes. As he hands off to Singleton. So Drew Aller, Greg, this is the guy that everybody says, listen, he's the future of the program. The way this team is covered in the fan base. And there are some saying, boy, we'd like to see more of them sooner.
I mean, Clifford gives you the best chance to win, and James Franklin's job is to put the guy out there at quarterback who gives you the best chance to win right now.
Now this guy gives you a pretty good chance. Look at Nick Singleton. The freshman star just adds to the evening.
It's another great night of football.
Trey Potts getting some work here. See, Greg, you still have a fun night of college football ahead of you. 2nd and 3, Kaliakmanis, wide open target downfield, and going up and securing it is Mike Brown-Stevens. Seeing some moments out of Kaliakmanis. Potts gets it to the 15-yard line.
You know, he certainly wasn't alone. There's a lot of blame to go around on what was a very inconsistent offensive performance.
Potts is dragged down.
That he'll experience that'll be much tougher than this.
Tackled at the line of scrimmage.
They love themselves the wideout.
4th down with 4 minutes to play. Kaliakmanis to the end zone. And that is beyond the reach of Daniel Jackson. So it'll be a turnover on downs.
The ups and downs that he's experienced in his career are just phenomenal.
And that was proven true tonight.
Within hours by James Franklin. Wasn't sure if he wanted to hop back in, and this was just the right situation for him. But it's so tough to be a coach. It's so hard on the families. The roller coaster ride of emotions that you experience as a coach. Yeah, you see the buyout numbers, you see the salaries, it feels glamorous, but my goodness, is it so hard. And Manny Diaz has been a great example of that and has been first class at every stop, even though he has experienced great moments and a lot of adversity. And what a response tonight by his defense.
You know, I think it's interesting you brought it up in terms of how quickly you went from what happened in the ending in Miami to saying, all right, I'm going to be a part of this at Penn State, because that was not the intent. I mean, he even admitted that he said, okay, man, I'm going to go down the keys and just turn off my brain for a little bit.
Right.
But James Franklin told us, he said, I'm going to pick up the phone and call him, not knowing what the response is going to be. And obviously they've got a lot of success together now.
And I really think, and I think a lot of us wondered last week, all right, was that a sign of things to come, or is that an anomaly performance, right? And you watched it, and it was so uncharacteristic of the first 5 games. It just almost had to feel like it was an anomaly performance. Look, they have some young guys on defense, especially at the second level. Those guys played a little bit out of control at times, tried to do a little too much, pressed and got gashed as a result. But I really think that this defense from top to bottom is excellent. And as we fast forward towards the end of the season, it might not show itself next week, right? I mean, stopping Ohio State's like, you know, stopping the early 90s Nittany Lions with Kerry Collins and Kajana Carter and everybody. So, I mean, you think about how that group is at Ohio State. But I think this defense, really at all 3 levels, is very, very good and does give them a chance to beat everyone on their schedule. But next week, it might not be enough for the defense to do it themselves. The offense had to score 40, and that'll obviously be a tremendous challenge.
This thing was a 7-point game at one point. Minnesota had the ball to start the second half.
Yeah.
Look up at that scorecard. You look through this box score, just dominating second half by Penn State. Aller going to throw the ball here with 1:15 remaining, looking for Liam Clifford. But Penn State in the second half, first 4 possessions of the second half, 4 touchdowns.
But it wasn't just, you know, their offense. Obviously, their offense made some great plays and started to run the ball pretty efficiently. But the defense, I mean, they didn't give up much whatsoever. And then the third phase, special teams, getting a hand on that punt, even though it wasn't blocked for a touchdown or anything. But anytime you see a punt get blocked, it's the surge of momentum that gives you as a team. And they certainly responded beautifully in the second half. I mean, I remember when they brought it there for the first time 10 years. I remember it was like it was yesterday. I mean,
you got to get to Vegas, or you got to get to Miami next year.
I'll be in Vegas. I'm always open for a Vegas trip if you want to make a trip.
Come sit ringside. We'll do a little Formula 1 too.
Now we're talking.
Bryce Williams gets the carry here. Final minute of this game. James Franklin talked a lot this week about how you approach a week after a tough defeat, after some offensive struggles, some defensive struggles. And knowing what he was up against a Minnesota team that likes to constrict the game, has an exceptional running back and a tough, hard-nosed defense, and you look up and it's 45-17. Williams will get a little more work here. Always a great night. The whiteout. Those unique uniforms as well for Penn State. You don't say that often, but the numbers on the helmet, the white cleats instead of the black, the stripe down the pants, and the governor's victory bell between these two is fought for. and goes to Penn State. Clifford had 4 touchdown passes. Singleton had 2 touchdown runs. Tight ends got involved early on. Tanner Morgan and Sean Clifford, 2 guys who used to play youth football against each other.